Simple and Out strives to have the most accurate in-out board in existence. We do that by offering a number of amazing features. Features like automatic status updates that allow you to update your status just by carrying your phone into real-world locations. Or features like desktop presence, which allow you to automatically update your status based on your desktop computer's activity. We also offer features like calendar integrations and integrations with the presence in Microsoft Teams. All these things to try to make it as automatic as we can to keep your board up to date. But despite our best efforts, there are still times where your board may be slightly out of date. Maybe a user hasn't enabled one of these amazing features to do the work for them. Or maybe you have a user who was carrying their phone around with automatic status updates on, but they were without internet connectivity. At times like this, you may just simply wish to reset your board. And for that, we have a great feature called Status Resets, which allows you to predetermine times where you can reset your board to make sure you're starting the next day out fresh. So let's take a look at how this would be configured. I'm here on the status reset screen. I'm logged in as a user who has all the administrative capabilities, so I can configure these. And you'll see that right away you're left with two options. The first option is you can just hard reset everybody right now. So you can do this just by entering a comment, hitting the status, and checking everybody out. And this can work great for those times where you absolutely need to do it immediately. But the predominant use case is going to be able to schedule these so that they occur automatically all the time so you don't have to remember to do it. And for that, we can create the status reset. So I'll click Add. And as you see, we have a number of options here that I'll walk through. The predominant use case for a status reset is going to be an evening or an overnight reset where we could go and look and make sure the board starts out fresh. But we do have a number of customers who have different use cases for status resets. So we do offer a lot of different levers you can pull on to get a situation that works the best for you. First thing we need to do is we need to give this a name. So I'm just going to call this Everybody Out. Now, the next thing we can do is we could set the comment. What comment would we like to leave behind if we have to reset a user? So in this case, I'll just say nightly reset. Now, I have a number of different levers I can choose now to decide which users am I going to try to reset. So by default, this is everyone, but of course, if you have groups set up, this is another great use for groups. We have an entire separate video on group management I encourage you to check out. But in this case, I'll just run it for everybody. But you could target this to specific groups, which is great, especially if you have users who are working different days or different shifts. So now the next thing, and this is maybe the most important setting you'll have to choose from, is what statuses do you wish to reset your users to? So by default, you can see we have this set to out. And what that will do is anybody who's in a break, busy, in, or remote status will automatically be checked to out. This will, for example, leave users alone who are already out, or it'll leave users alone who are in maybe a status like out sick, or maybe they're in a vacation status. Those users will be left alone. The theory being is that those users are in a better status right now, and we'll only worry about the other ones. Now, of course, you can change this to any of the statuses that your organization has enabled. So if you're in one of these alternate use cases, you can certainly do that. So maybe you have a situation where you need to instead check everybody in the morning. You can still do that here, and in which case then we'll take the break, busy, and out users, and we'll flip them all to in at a time of your choosing. Again, those are advanced use cases for certain people. The predominant use case is going to be this one. Now we get to choose when we want everybody to be reset. In this case, I'm going to pick sometime late in the evening. Let's just pick 10:30 at night. And then I can choose days of the week. So do you want to run this every night of the week, or do you want to maybe skip the weekends and only run it on weekdays? In this case, again, I'll leave it on for every night of the week. That's okay. Again, this will ignore people who are already out. They won't be reset. They're already in the state that we want them in. And then the last setting you need is the time zone. So of course, we need to know which time zone you're in order to make sure we get the right time. By default, this will always be the time zone you're in when you're setting it. But of course, you can set this to anything you wish. Okay, so this all looks good. Let's go ahead and hit Create Status Reset. And there we go. Now we have a brand new status reset down here. So what this will do is, it's called Everyone Out. I can change it later. It will apply to everyone. And everyone who's in a break, busy, in a remote status will automatically be updated to out at 10:30 p.m. And I don't have to remember to do this now. Every night, this will just run for me automatically. And it'll make sure that nobody is in or remote or in a break or busy status at the beginning of my day. Everyone gets to start off fresh. So that is Status Resets and Simple and Out. It is a great tool for administrators to make sure your board always starts off in a place you like it every single day.